No walk and talk. This is the lay and spray. I got my co-host here, Atticus, and we're going to talk about Canelo versus Berlanga and why I will turn viciously against Canelo. Now, I'm kind of considered a Canelo defender in some ways. I really think that he's unfairly judged a lot, and I really think that he's done some good work. He's been a top fighter. He's been a star. He's carried the sport at times, right? He's definitely the biggest star we have in boxing. And I think he definitely took in some challenges and not really even given credit for, or even like when he fights a guy like Bivol, and people think they say it's a cherry pick on wrong. So you don't even though he fought a very, 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 very tough guy, one of the toughest guys you can fight in boxing, moved up in weight to do so. He took that chance and he lost, but he couldn't even get credit for taking the chance. He couldn't even get credit for, making the attempt to be great, right? He couldn't even get the credit for that, right? But I understand that there's the other side that defends Canelo no matter what. And that's kind of the side we have to deal with today. Because if Canelo Alvarez fights Berlanga, and I'm not saying, fights him 5 years from now, 3 years from now, or fights him in the future after a few fights. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if he fights, which we know he's going to fight Ryder next, right, in Mexico. If he fights Berlanga after that, right? If he goes and fights Ryder and then Berlanga, that's a complete joke. And I will turn against Canelo because then he's not a serious fighter. He's an exhibition fighter. He's a fighter who's not respecting the sport for being trying to be the top guy anymore or trying to be the top dog. Because when you have guys like Benavides and Caleb Plant who are going to fight each other, right? And that's what Canelo always asks: is these guys aren't fighting anybody. They're not fighting nobody, right? That's what he always says. Well, they're going to fight each other, and they're going to settle that, right? And then you have a guy like Charlo who's kind of, has, first of all, he has the better wins than Berlanga could ever even imagine, right? He's been a credible guy at middleweight, and he's a credible name, and he's a good fighter. And you have a guy like Morale, who is if you're gonna fight an up and coming guy, right? Who has been the most devastating, most impressive? You have guys like that in the weight division. You're gonna fight Berlanga. When you were the money man, you can make any fight you want. You have the capabilities. And I understand people say, "Oh, he wants to take a match from they got to cross street." Well, hell, they're gonna do Tank versus Ryan, right? That's supposedly gonna happen. That's what they're working on. So obviously, the PBC and Showtime have no problem making a joint venture fight if it makes sense financially. And with Canelo Alvarez, it's gonna make sense financially. But I am not. But I gotta be honest and hold him to. I gotta hold him credible. I gotta hold him to the standard that I hold everybody to. Because that's what the I do is I hold everybody to the standard the same, right? I don't switch. I don't have favorite guys. I don't have favorite promotion. I don't do any of that. Okay, if anyone of the top guys was fighting Berlanga next, right, I'd be critical of it. Okay, because Berlanga's not that level. He hasn't fought anyone to show he's at that level. And you would say, oh, okay, well, well then why not let him fight someone to show he's at that level? Not Canelo. Okay, Canelo's got other guys to fight. Okay, and unless he's gonna go up, Canelo's gonna go up to 175 and fight Bivol again, right? Or Bivol's gonna come back down. There's other guys at 168 to fight that are not Berlanga. And we just gotta be honest about it. And if you're gonna be a fanboy and all that, and create all your opinions and everything to bend to Canelo or bend to whatever promotion or network or fighter that you enjoy, that's fine. But just kind of acknowledge that, or don't get mad at me when I call it out, right? But I'm being honest here. Canelo cannot fight Berlanga, and if we don't say it now, they'll make it. So we need to be vocal about it. That's a trash fight. That's a trash decision. That's not what the best guy in the sport should be doing. And if we're critical of all these other guys, right, not fighting people, we got to be critical when this guy does it. And if he does that, he will no longer be my pound for pound. He will no longer be considered a serious fighter to me. And he's no longer, to me, a guy that is, to me, you couldn't even say he's a top 168 guy. You couldn't even say that anymore because he's not testing himself to prove that, right? He's not providing the evidence to prove that. This has been the spray. This has been the lay and spray. Like and subscribe, share, all those good things. Leave comments. Let's help grow this a little bit, right? I'm over here and I'm giving you quick hits. Quick hits. You guys didn't like I used to give the hour long, 2 hour long, I even did a 4 hour podcast. I understand. You guys aren't a fan. You don't have the attention span for that. Well, here, I'm giving you 5 minutes straight gold. You guys couldn't think of this nonsense. I promise you. I sat back. I give you guys a chance. Why do you think it's me, the one coming up with all this stuff all the time? And why isn't it you? Because you don't have the capability to do it. So might as well like and subscribe and just encourage me, right? Just lightly encourage me, give me a little push to keep going on with this. Peace.